che si strazzila, che si strazzila, che costa cambia.
All my life, England fascinated me. I was desperate to come to see England because you hear so many things about England. I wanted to see myself. My father joined First World War. He was prisoner under English authorities. Always at home conversation, you can meet what he did, how much he suffered, something anti-British. I said, growing up sort of attitude, I decided, let's go to see England, to clear my mind and my conscience, to believe my eyes. Was my father right or wrong? When I came in England, 1965, I took part-time job as a waiter at Waldorf Hotel. I didn't have another choice. I had to start as a waiter because of language. And I started as a commis waiter because I couldn't speak English. Commis waiters means you have nothing to speak, just run up and down, up and down. Then I became waiter, and I did very, very well.
At 7 o'clock, she will be baking breakfast.
At 7:15, she will be getting breakfast.
At 1:15, she would be getting breakfast.
I wanted to learn English as quickly as possible. I went LTC school in Oxford Street. So many different countries, so many languages spoken. I started book essential number 1, A, B, C, D alphabet. My biggest problem was pronounce TH and V. V. It was very important. And I think personally, myself, for Germans, Turks, Spanish, TH must be very difficult because we don't really know which way we can put our tongues to pronounce TH. When I asked my teacher, he suggested to me, look Remzi, please try to put pipe in your mouth and speak English. You will find they will understand you easier with pipe than without. After my waiter job, I was promoted as a floor head waiter. Some people, they want to eat in there. Now you have to serve them exactly as good as in the restaurant. It's not much difference. Every single day, I used to have different customers, different type people to talk. They don't stop asking you where do you come from, what are you doing, which hours you do. I found it fantastic. It helped my English a lot. I knew that myself, I wouldn't stay as a head waiter. In the end, when I was ready, I advertised. A Turkish gentleman, a good experience of catering, looking a job as restaurant or grill room manager. A lot of charm, ambition, dedication, determination. I had many, many letters. Now I was very pleased myself. And I have to pick up make my mind up, where can I go? Brighton, to Bournemouth, London, Oxford, Cambridge, countless. Well, I picked up Oxford. Oxford is always, for foreigner, very important. I don't know why. I think personally, it's Oxford Dictionary, Oxford University. Oxford was in my mind since I arrived in England.
Well, we've come now to Christchurch, one of the largest of the colleges for men, and founded in 1525 by Cardinal Wolsey. The Cardinal died before the work was completed here, but he did live to see the Great Hall finished on the other side. Now, on the far side, you can see Tom Tower, the second architectural work of Sir Christopher Wren. Within the tower is a magnificent bell that weighs 7 tons. It is a curfew bell. Every night at 9:05 the bell will strike 101 strokes in memory of the first students who were here. And students were usually required to be in their college by 9:20. Well, now the bell is still upheld, and the only difference nowadays is that students return to their college round the back way. Well, we've come now into the old schools quadrangle of the Bodleian Library. The library itself, of course, is one of the world's 8 famous libraries, and was founded first of all as a library in 1425. And the buildings that you see here are original. They are 15th century. And Thomas Bodley in 1671 refounded the library here. He gave a vast amount of money together with his own enormous library, and he later applied to the Stationers' Company in London for a copy of every book printed. On the far side you can see the Earl of Pembroke. He too was a great benefactor. Building on the left here is the Sheldonian Theatre, the first architectural work of Sir Christopher Wren, who was only 32 years old when he designed that building for the giving of degrees. It's called the Sheldonian Theatre because the money for it was given by Gilbert Sheldon, who was Archbishop of Canterbury, and on many occasions witnessed the giving of degrees in St Mary's Church. And he felt that the degree ceremony should have a building of its own, and he gave the money for it. And Christopher...
I moved to Oxford. Randolph Hotel offering me a job. They were offering to me grill room manager. Without any hesitation, I accepted. During my work at the Randolph, I made many friends and businessmen friends. And they were telling me, Remzi, Oxford is dead. It is very important, necessary, open a nice sort of continental or Middle East restaurant. Somehow I saved approximately £500. It wasn't enough, but dedication, my ambition, I went to see the bank manager. I asked him, I explained him my position. I put everything black and white on the table. He asked me, what is your security? I said to him, 10 fingers and hard work. You must help me. He believed in me. Please don't forget our beautiful pork and lamb over there. What you see is here, all of them, our head chef did it. British going out means enjoying where they go. Unfortunately, they don't complain enough. If they don't like the food, they would rather pay the bill without complaint, never come again. Continental people, they always complain, they shout. Few occasions I met, the gentleman, he was going to complain. Unfortunately, lady stopped him. I object this. It's not correct attitude. They should complain. Beautiful, absolutely super. I think the English people are very sentimental. Sort of little things, you make their day. Especially ladies to give something, offer, attention. The man is proud. When I went on my holiday to Turkey, driving with my car, I drove all the way to Istanbul, to Ankara. And I came back. When I arrived at Dover, it was approximately 4 o'clock in the morning. Then I decided to drive to London because it was so beautiful morning, unbelievable. I look at it around my left, my right, front of me, green, 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 beautiful. And suddenly, my tears rolling down, I felt so sentimental. I thought I am in paradise. Many people, I suppose, they don't realize how beautiful this England is. This island, so beautiful, I can explain you. Hello, Zina!
Darling! Wait a minute, hold on a minute, hold on, my artist! Hold on, my artist!
I miss you so
much. My darling, how wonderful to see you. Welcome home again, welcome home again. What would you like to drink, my dear?
I would like half of bitter, please.
Half a bitter. Half a bitter it is, then. How are you, my love?
I miss you so much.
And I miss you too, you liar.
You don't know how much I love you.
Madam Sir.
How's your lunch trade?
Well, darling?
Lunch trade.
Excellent. We've almost sold out of food.
Sold it out?
Yes, already.
The face of catering is changing in this country. Restaurants, lunch trades is changing. Only reason, British pubs, they are doing very, very good trade in lunchtime. The pubs are fantastic here. The charming landlady or landlord will make you so welcome. They are experts. They are adorable.
Don't run away, I've still got you. Danny the lion.
I mean, you mean this?
Your salad, and you want cheese and onion.
What you got here, I would like to really know. It's a slice of ham,
Yes, home cooked.
Home
Remember,
cooked.
home cooked.
You do yourself.
Yes, Alan, not me.
Do you do sort of this every lunch?
Every lunchtime, except in the winter we have soup, different homemade soup.
Zina, look, you like eating in pub, do you?
Oh yes, I never have time to do anything else.
Do you cook at home?
I don't cook, Paddy does the cooking. When we do cook, we don't cook very often. We never have time.
Why not?
Well, because we're working. We work at night.
Where do you go for lunch?
Well, we come here, we have a sandwich, we have a drink, you know. We have our lunch, yeah.
Excuse me,
It's
Zina,
lovely.
how much
Jolly good value,
do you
that.
charge this beautiful cold buffet?
55 pennies with a piece of bread and butter.
French bread, quite, and immediately you can sell.
And time and
While we come here, we get 1 hour to eat.
And then a
And we have
chat.
to get back and a chat and a laugh and a drink, and we have to come back to work.
I think it is the
While we
idea.
come in here.
they have it straight over the bar.
In pub lunch trade is increasing day by day. Am I
It
right?
certainly is. That's quite true, my love.
This-
Yes, it's quite
And
true.
I found out
Yes.
quickness
Yes.
and decent price. Not
Yes,
spend
yes.
more than possibly 50, 70p.
That's true. This is
And
true.
go.
So therefore you can say upridge if they have extra. Yes, sir. Pint of the best.
The man who gave me my first job in England was Mr. Henderson, who was then the staff manager at the Waldorf Hotel. He is someone who has had very wide experience in all branches of the catering business.
Because the staff problem is one of the biggest ones that I'm sure you have in your own restaurant at Oxford and that we have throughout the country in the hotel business. There are something like 60,000 new rooms being built under the Development of Tourism Grant Act. And if we think perhaps that each room requires about another half a body, getting on to 3/4 of a body, it means that our industry now requires something in the region of 50,000 additional staff. Now, the problem is that where we had reasonable freedom of recruiting foreign workers in the days that you came to England at first, we are now restricted to some 5,000 permits to be granted. So there will be far fewer Ramses in the future, I think, in England than there could have been when you first came here.
I think British people, they don't like working in catering business.
I think you're right. I think that the average Britisher or member of the UK doesn't really want to participate in a service industry of our particular type. For some reason they like using it, but they don't like providing the service. And I think this is one of the reasons why we look to the foreign nationals to provide this service for us.
But still there is good stuff around, providing you picked up yourself and open your arm for them and look after them very well.
But catering and hotel keeping in this country is largely conducted by the main groups and breweries, in which perhaps employees feel just a very small number, a cog in the wheel. In Europe, you don't get this to the same extent. And I think that there's something to be said for the highly personalized sort of restaurant that you run, and the success perhaps stems from this interest in the people that work for you.
Oxford is very difficult to run catering because there is a huge car factory and they pay so much money, it is impossible to get staff. In Leyland, easily they can get £50 in 8 hours with easy job. Oxford is a city of contrast, industry and university. British Leyland occupy an area as big as Oxford, city center with all its colleges. Oxford is a city full of life, beautiful building, life of the colleges, Where you go, you will find extremely different atmosphere. Oxford is a city full of students, nearly 20,000 students in Oxford. A lot of excitement. You can see the way they dress, their attitude, some of them mad, some of them sensible. You have to accept as it is, otherwise you couldn't be able to live here. Also, many foreigners. So many different countries, people you can meet here. I can't count you how many languages you can speak in Oxford. The Oxford is the city, nobody take notice what you ever do. It is you can do what you like to do. A brilliant city, full of intelligence and madness. Oxford is the place to relax, surrounded by the rivers everywhere and parks. English parks, very well known in Europe. The best parks ever exist in the world is in England. In Oxford, so many parks. You go one park, the other. So beautiful, along the river, no noise, nothing, no factories, nobody speaks, you are on your own.
Give a, no, oh! Yeah, come here, here. What is your name? Mahmud? Mahmud is Turkish. English is Fred. Fred. Mind you, it is P-H-R-E-D. Fred. Huh?
makes green scrambled eggs. Try doing that. It's very easy. You just have
The membership drive this year has been very successful. There are more members.
I love freedom in this country. I think one of the things I will never go back, especially in Oxford. The Oxford Union, debating societies, presidential dinner in 8th week is quite an exceptional occasion, even for this group of people.
That's the one with Diana Rigg, wasn't it? Yes, and Robert Morley.
I really like him. That's a grotesque profile. There's some three chins. My hero.
When did you last go there?
The society represents the true freedom of expression that I value about this British way of life. Everybody speaks their own mind.
One Andrew Bell. I think all good Tories should join in this.
She doesn't really try it. She belts right down to the rock.
Anyway, you should have a very good time.
England is the, I think, only one country in the world you can do what you like to do. It is the reason I feel here more relaxing than at home.